So for this first room, I see there's 2 ways out. One of which is really close to the room, which means that that room is a corridor. So that basically tells me that this is going to be early chest gen. And this early chest basically confirms it. So I know this next room is going to have, or in the next 2 rooms, I'm going to have 2 ways out. One of which basically loops back to where I started, or back to that first room. I was trying to guard flash shock to make the chandeliers fall and these got nuts. Unfortunately, I messed that up. And then I also got the 3rd wave of this room, which also was not too good. And I almost get hit by this chandelier before I quickly moved out of the way. And so here I see 2 ways out, and there's actually another loop towards the right. And because that exit is longer, I know that that's the way to the loop. So the shorter exit is going to be the way to the boss. And I happen to go to Trigger Twins, which shouldn't be too bad to deal with. I also got the Heart of Ice from the blue chest, which is decent for a speedrun. It's basically just giving me another heart container that I can drop later on, if I really need to. So basically the strategy for the Trigger Twins is to either kill them both at the same time, or kill them one at a time. Well, obviously the other one has to be that way. I also take Smiley's revolver from him. You know, stealing from dead bodies is perfectly fine in the Gungeon. Smiley's revolver does decent damage, so it's definitely something that I'm going to be using in between blasphemy shots. And so I can see this first room only has 1 way out. So therefore the second room has to have 1 way out, otherwise there's going to be a special room. Or maybe like an NPC room. Here I see this 3rd room has 3 ways out, so for this particular generation, I can't really tell which way is the right way for this Fate room. Kind of just pick a direction. Unfortunately, I picked the shop right here, which isn't the right way. And I just went to the right to double check, and I just corridor, which basically confirms that I was right. That's not the right way. During this pause, I was actually checking my notes, just to see if there was any way I can tell which direction I needed to go. Even though I already knew that, I should have already known that the right way, the right direction isn't the right way. Because you can see that the shop is actually looping back around. And this loops back down to a chest room. So I'm not exactly too sure what was making me think that this was going to be the right way. And so I should have went left here the first time. Wasting a bit of time here. Again, using Smiley's revolver to get some more damage off. It's a good idea to push blue shotgun kin into pits because they have a lot of health. Unfortunately, I messed up the first time, so I wasted a little bit. And the second wave for this particular room usually has 2 ghosts. So you can kill one off and let the other one teleport to you. For this room, I see that there's a block chest path along with a king room. I can see that the king room is basically going to loop back around to the block chest. Therefore, I know that the top right is the best way to go to get to the boss room, and it is. If you're not the bullet, you should go towards. You should maybe consider doing the King's Challenge so you can get another item or another weapon. I'm also choosing the Smiley's revolver here just because it does a lot of damage from a distance, more damage than blasphemy would. And I'm not bothering to gun drop because I think I'm pretty easily hitting the damage cap for the 2nd floor. Finish out the holster and I get the Emperor, which is... it's decent. This first room I see that there's 2 ways out. The top kind of looks like a corridor, so I'm just going to ignore that one. Typically, if you're not on the 2nd floor and you see a corridor at the start, you basically want to ignore it. Just go the opposite direction. I messed up a little bit right here, and while I'm trying to guard flash, and so I was able to do it once, but not again, and let myself get hit, or rather, I took damage. And here I see there's 2 ways out, and if the starting room has 2 ways out, and the 3rd room has 2 ways out, you want to go towards the loop, And that next room should have 3 ways out, as it does. Alternatively, if that third room has 3 ways out, don't go towards the loop. Go some other direction. I messed up on the shrine right here a little bit. Here I'm checking my notes one more time. I'm actually forgetting which rooms, which push trigger generations lead towards a loop. There's only one on 3rd floor, so, and this isn't it. So I basically just, there's nothing really to check there. And I find the boss room, which is really fortunate. I started using Emperor. Over the course of the run, I think I realized that Smile's Revolver would probably be better than using the Emperor. But I didn't notice it right here. Also, unfortunately, get hit right there by mine. Actually, get hit him a couple more times. Like, one of these shots bounces back from the hallway, or the entrance, and I didn't expect that. You can actually blow these mines up with the guard flash, but I'm not skilled enough to do that. Also, whenever Mind Flayer goes into that bell form, basically swing at her and dodge roll through her, so you can get rid of that basically instantly. I'm really lucky to get Yari Laundry here. It's one of the few weapons that actually breaks the damage cap. So that's really exciting, knowing that I can use that for the last 2 bosses. What I was trying to do here was prep myself to drop the master round. Unfortunately, I messed that up. The only reason I wanted to drop the master round is so I can back to full health and actually use Blasphemy its full potential. Messing that up, but luckily it didn't really matter too much. Guard Flash one's here to be a little bit safer as I go through the trap room. Trap rooms do count as real rooms, so whenever you get that, it's really nice to be able to just walk right through them and not have to fight any enemies. And so I see that this 4th room has 2 ways out, so I already noticed the kissing chest generation. I just picked downwards just at random. I don't really know if the longer corridor or the Tetris corridor tells you which way you need to go or not. Because you're technically already in the loop, so a longer exit doesn't really matter. Or shouldn't. Pretty sure I messed up pretty badly in this room, letting myself get hit. And I didn't even bother to get rid of the master round as I fought through the rest of this room with Smile's Revolver. Also, in case you don't know, pistols, or revolvers, whatever you want to call them, they fire faster after you do a dodge roll. So you can increase your damage output by dodge rolling beforehand. Here I see there's 3 ways out, one of which is a mini-boss. I actually have no idea which way is the correct way here. I kind of just guess. I just didn't want to go the mini-boss direction just because that's scary. To have to fight a mini-boss, and I was really fortunate to just go up and basically pick the right boss. Basically, I knew one of those ways led back to the kissing chest loop, but it was hard to tell which one it was. So I just used Yara Launcher to get rid of these kill pillars, and used Blasphemy to get help take care of the rest of the 3 of them. And here I was really lucky to actually be able to kill 2 of them at the same time. That's not really too common. So I basically skip out on the entire second phase, which is really cool. Unfortunately, I also got the slow death animation, which is unfortunate. I also got ammo for Yara Launcher, which is awesome. Got the AK-47, which isn't gonna matter at all during the run. I don't even think I use it. So here I see there's 3 ways out. I know the longest exit was basically going to lead to a loop usually. And so I see that top right one is the second longest, and the one at the bottom is really short. Going to adjacent or Jisan, the second exit is usually the one that he takes, and is usually the one the correct path to the boss. So I just took this one. I definitely know that what to the left should lead to a loop, and that's the way you want to go. Not for this generation. And here I see this third room has 2 ways out, which means that this is correct. And there's actually a second loop in this particular generation, so that longer exit should lead to a loop, since longer exits typically lead to loops. So the way I pick is going to be up top, and that's really my reasoning behind it. I also get the mallow box out of this, but I don't really care. Just pausing right there to throw something out, and real quick. Sorry about that. I can also see this room should have one way out, but one of them has an NPC. There's another exit for an NPC, which is called Muncher. I kind of waste a little bit of time checking on it. I didn't really need to. And here I'm at the dragon fight, and I'm gonna be using Yari to easily bypass that damage cap. I'm gonna save a little bit of ammo, and you really should whenever you have Yari launcher, just for the second phase. You can see later on that I actually messed it up because my buttons are a little... first of all, I was too close to it during the hard fight, and I was also messed up a little bit. Here I'm using gun dropping for the dragon because it's not as easy to hit the damage cap. There's a lot of clicking that I need to do for gun dropping, which you can easily hear. Switch over to Emperor here, just for this tiny last part. Also messed up timing for the blank to completely cancel out the pistol attack, or the throwing knives. So yeah, my buttons were a little messed up, and I couldn't switch my weapons the way I wanted to. And for the Yari launcher for the hard phase, you want to be a little bit far back, and so you can see that some of these are just hitting the dragon itself and not the heart. So I actually miss out on the one cycle. It's really unfortunate. And again, my weapons were messed up on switching. So I had to switch to something else. I don't usually get Yari launcher, so I didn't realize I had to be farther back. But yeah, that's about it for this run. And so yeah, for this, for the ending credits, I just want to thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys learned a thing or two. Man, 12:30 is like scrub time. Like, wait, we're at the end card. Good luck. See you guys.